My name is Sid Simons. I have a band called Sid Simons The Darlings. Just put out an album called Beneath the Brightest Smiles. What, 2 months ago I released it?
Yeah.
2 months ago. Less than that. A month and a half. It feels like it's been out forever. Why is that? I've lived in New York for like 7 years now, and I just feel like there's like something really exciting happening right now. You know, there's like so many good artists. Telescreens, Cab Ellis, Rose Paradise, Beck Louder, Beethoven. Before maybe I was just like a super judgmental, like critical person where I was just like, I would go out and see a band, I'd be like, all right, that sucked, you know? But now it's hard to find something that's not good, that's not like up to par. I'm always walking away being like, wow, that was exciting. I want to go write a song, you know? Like it's really like, it's an exciting time, I feel like. And I feel like there is a scene, there's so many good bands, so. First I would say is like, don't miss it right now. Don't sleep on this right now. Be in New York. You just gotta be in it. Like, that's literally it. I think when we were on the road with Modern English, we had so much fun every single night. We would do interviews like right before the show, and everyone was like, "We wish we were in New York seeing this thing." And I was like, "Wow! Like I guess there is something really exciting happening, you know." And that really made me realize there is something happening here because everyone was like has been seeing it. I have one story. It was in Beechwood, that band. We were playing this festival. It was like in the Lower East Side, like it was like set up on the street. And so basically, I think PBR sponsored it. And so we were all drinking a bunch. This is when I was like 19 or something. And we were all just super, I never drink before shows now, but we were all absolutely wasted before the show. And we walk on the stage, and my drummer at the time, the cops like show up because they didn't think the festival had permits. I'm not sure why. The cops like roll in through the crowd, and they push past the crowd, and the drummer at the time, we just started the second song in. My drummer picks a beer can up, he throws it into the crowd, and it lands on the cop car. And so the cops like run to him, and they like grab him by the neck while he's still playing drums, rip him through the crowd. The whole crowd's like going insane. It's like a riot is about to start. And this is literally like second song in. And so they throw him in the cop car, and I'm like so pissed, and I asked my brother, whatever, you know, and I don't even know what I did. I spit on the cop car or something. It was something so dumb, something I would never do sober. And the cops like push, you know, get over in the car, and they like take me by my neck and throw me to the ground, and like they were like, there's some crazy photos of them holding like a gun to my head, like, and then their knees and like in my back. I chipped my front tooth, and then like literally the crowd is going absolutely insane. And they like rip us off, and they take us to the station or whatever, and we spent like 24 hours in jail. And then I remember like them moving us every 3 hours, just because I feel like it was like some sort of like kind of tactic. We got put in a cell with like 16 other people, you know, and then they would just move us, and there'd be like rats running around. You have to like lift your feet every time. And then so we were in the cell. I didn't sleep for literally 24 hours, and they just like banged on the door, and like Simons was like, okay. Walk down into the courtroom. You just get opened up into a courtroom, you know? And then, and then I had like my attorney. My parents were living in Hong Kong at the time. So like my friend had to call them. They got a lawyer involved. And then, and then I remember just like going up to I was literally wearing my mom's dress. Like, yeah, it was so bad. I remember I had full like long bleach blonde hair, like down to here. I was in my mom's dress. I was like, this is not gonna be good. This is not gonna be good. Like in the cell. And then, but I remember, yeah, so my whole family's in another country, and I like walk into the courtroom. I had some community service that I had to do. And then I remember leaving the courtroom, and then my attorney was like, all right, see you, man. And I just had no phone, no wallet. And I remember just being like, all right, I guess I'm free. And I walk home from Lower East Side, which is called the Tombs, this jail. I remember walking from Lower East Side to Bed-Stuy, and I just like walked in the door, and like my brother was like, where the fuck have you been? You know? So that was a crazy one. I've played in like tons of different bands, and I've always been like kind of like the side guy in all these bands, but this is like my first kind of venture into just all my own songs and just, you know, being the project. I always wanted to do it, and it was always like, one day I'm gonna do that. And it just like, there's so many things that got in the way, you know, touring and stuff, being in another band. It was hard to do your side project and stuff. But So the side project, which is my name, became a main focus. I just like quit every project and I was like, I'm just gonna do this. There's just a lot of drugs going on at the time, and I just like wanted to get out of that world. Everyone that I knew was like a junkie, and I was like, I need to leave this like scene. This is not me. You know what I mean? That was a whole different time. That feels like a whole different life at this point, you know? Yeah. There's a band called Girl Skin that was like me and my brother. It was like a folky, kind of Americana actually, kind of Big Thiefy, Fleet Foxes kind of style. Another band called Beachwood, I was saying before, it was just like punk band. Another band called Jeffrey Toast that was in. That was kind of like a Pavement. We were literally just trying to rip off Pavement the entire time. Jeffrey Toast, I started off playing drums, then I moved to guitar. Beachwood, I was the bass player, and then I started playing guitar in that band as well. Girl Skin, I played the acoustic guitar and sang. And my own project now, I mostly just sing. Yeah, and I'll pick up the guitar here and there. Yeah, I'm very much so like in the moment kind of a writer. So whatever I'm listening to, like I just immerse myself into that sound or that direction of kind of writing style. I mean, I used to only listen to like punk music. That's the only shit I would listen to. Sex Pistols, Buzzcocks, this band Wire. That's all I listened to. That's like the only thing I cared about. And now I'm just like I'm into like Chappell Roan and stuff now. Like I've done a big switch. I'll write the song in my room and then I'll demo it and I'll just like have exactly what I want. I know exactly how the drums should sound. I'll play the bass and I'll show the band it, and then they'll put their own little like flavor into it. You know what I mean? Like I used to be very like my way or the highway kind of thing, and now I love hearing their ideas and their thoughts, you know. It's like really refreshing, you know. So I'll demo the whole song and I'll have these very specific parts I like, and then I'll bring it to the band and we all kind of shape it into this like bigger thing. It feels like it a little bit over the last like 6 months. There's been a bit of a switch. Yeah, I guess so. It feels amazing. It's cool that we can play in different cities and people are really excited to see it and like sing along to the songs, you know. I've never had that happen where like people are singing along to the songs. So it's like it was cool for the Bowery show to like everyone was singing along, and it was just like exciting yeah, it was crazy. I've never had that happen. So it was cool. We opened for Franz Ferdinand last year, and that was probably the biggest one. Those were wild shows. We did Pacific Northwest. We did like Seattle, Portland, Vancouver. Did like a festival in Vancouver, and then we came back to the East Coast. And we did like Philly and Boston, and then Bowery. I've never told who that's about. I've never told him. Oh, man. I should. You're right. Yeah, one day I'll do that. I have 2 songs on the album that's about him, but he's just this guy that I grew up with who just like kind of had the shit thrown at him, you know, in every direction, and like he's just such a good human being. He deserves so much, you know, and like he just went through hell and he came up, and he's just like the greatest kid. I love him. He's still like one of my best friends, and I was just like, damn dude, you did it. You know, it could have been horrible. He could have gone down, but he rose above, and it's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Was one of my I mean, everyone thinks that's obviously about a girl, but it's about a GPS. Yeah. So I mean, I was on like a road trip with my friend, and right before we went on the trip, my mom was like, here, take this old like GPS. Just, you might need it if you have no service or whatever. And so we whipped it out, and there's like these different settings. It's like, choose like, you know, the voice of like Kevin, you know, Timothy, Wendy. And we're like, all right, Wendy it. And so we would be just driving on the highway, and she'd be like, take a left off the side. And we're, you know, she's trying to kill us. And we're like, oh my God, she got something on her mind. And so we said that the entire trip. And I was like, I'm writing a song about her, you know. I think I gotta explain that more, because people don't, yeah. I would say Dirt, this song Dirt. It was such a like, at the time I was like, I might not ever like release this. It's just like, it's so personal. Feels like I was in such a like kind of a darker stage in my life, and like through the years, I wrote that like a couple years ago. And like now it feels like quite optimistic. You know, it feels like, it's probably because I'm in a way different headspace than when I was, you know? So it's like, it's gone through these stages, and I feel, I mean, yeah, I'm just in a different place, so it feels actually quite like optimistic. So yeah, yeah, and it's also it's changed when this now that the crowd sings it back to you. I don't know why, what it does, but it feels it's like a different song now. Now that everyone else is singing it too, it's like it's not yours anymore. Yeah. The Ryan McGinley thing, how'd that happen? I think I just ran into him on the street or something, and he was like, "I want to shoot you." Like, okay. Didn't even know who he was. And he was like, "I'll pay you $100." I was like, "All right, sick, let's go." I'm broke. And then show up at his studio, and he's just like, "All right, take it all off." I was like, "Oh shit, really? It's my first nude shoot, I guess." So yeah, and there was like 10 people. Like, like there's one person that's just hired there to make you feel comfortable, And I remember like I had like just like first time in my life had shaved my pubes, because I remember like my first girlfriend at the time, I was like, I'm just gonna do this and freak her out. And I go out of the show, I was like, check it out, you know what I mean? She was like, oh God, why'd you, And literally the next day I run into Ryan McGinley and he's like, yeah, let's do the show. I was literally like, I got out, I was like, and it was like all red. I'm like, this is not usually the scene, But he was really sweet. He was really cool. Yeah, I don't know. I still never seen those photos. I don't ever want to see them. I love clothes. I love photography. Yeah. I'm just interested in partnering with different brands. I just think I just want to get more involved in that space. I think Celine's cool. I really like some of their clothes, and yeah, I think they reached out and I was like, yeah, I would love to wear some of this stuff. So one day I would love to design my own stuff. Like, it's a goal. It's a goal for sure. Yeah. Not anytime soon, but I would love to design my own work. Yeah. You want to make it obvious, When I'm making a song or I'm making a piece of music, I want to like try to visualize what it looks like, because I think it's important to see music just as much as you hear it. And so the star just like feels like the sound. If that makes sense. And the color red really feels like the music I'm making. I just had this idea of like two people in this photo booth, and it's kind of like, it feels kind of mysterious and like what's happening behind the scenes. And we found this like perfect photo booth at the Roxy Hotel. And I was like, Matt's the only one that should be shooting this right now. You know what I mean? I didn't think of anyone else, so killed it, looks great. But that felt like the album to me, like that cover, it just like portrayed the music to me very well. The thing is, I didn't want it to be planned out, I wanted it to feel kind of just like we're there and we're just, it's like a night out. So there wasn't any like attention to detail where like, oh, we gotta wear these shoes, we gotta wear this, we were gonna show up and it's gonna feel natural, And people have like sent me like photos of other people in the photo booth, like this, they try to recreate it. Yeah, and I'm like thinking about making like a little collage or something of all the people that have sent me photos. We have so many songs, so the next step is to get into the studio, and block out a lot of time. I'm figuring out what's the next step, what's what am I trying to say with the next album, I want to blow this one out of the water, I wanted this one to be like really big. So I think it's going to be an important album, this next record. There's like a lot of writers, honestly, that I've been really into. Jim Carroll, especially. He's amazing. Chuck Klosterman. Yeah, there's just a lot of like, I'm just reading a lot, so, and I feel like they're shaping, like I've gotten way more into lyrics than anything, which is interesting, because it's always been like melody and lyric. They've always gone hand in hand, and now it's like words have become far more important. So I think there's going to be I'm going to have a lot to say on this next one. Check out Beneath the Brightest Smiles. It is out now. Yeah, dude, thank you for having me.
Absolutely.